Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing my April wrap-up. So April was a pretty good reading month. I managed to complete 5 books, maybe 6. I'm trying to remember if one of these books was actually April or March. I feel like it might have been March. So I'm going to go with 5. So 5 books, but still exciting. A lot of them were pretty good reads. Like I enjoyed them a lot. So yeah, let's dive into it and I'll share my thoughts on them. So the first one I have on this list is Nestra's Bind. Now this one I did for a book tour and I did a fully dedicated video to this one. So I can link that so you guys can check out that review video. Essentially this one is following a Greek mythology retelling of Clytemnestra instead of like the other characters that you would usually see. And this is her struggling with having to like navigate a place where she's kind of just like forced into a marriage and she has to like protect her children. It's told with like a very like feminist view, and it definitely talks about like different gender roles and how those were like played out in this time period, and how like different things affected that or were affected by that. Yeah, this one can get pretty brutal. But yeah, if you want to get like the full review of this, check out my fully dedicated video on it. That one goes like into more detail. But I did end up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. The next one I read was The Charm Offensive, and this one was a 5 out of 5 stars. This book was so freaking cute. So this is like a rom-com, but you're following these two characters, Dev and, oh, what's the other guy's name? Charlie. His name's Charlie. And Charlie is the contestant on the show, so he's the bachelor, and he's going on to date a bunch of different women. Now, Dev is like he's the producer, so he's essentially like Charlie's handler and helps Charlie like navigate the whole like reality TV world and the different episodes and stuff like that. And the two of them end up getting close as the show progresses, and Charlie actually starts to have feelings for Dev rather than like these women that he's dating. And so from there you like kind of like explore that dynamic and that relationship. I really liked this a lot because I'm a very big like reality TV junkie. I love watching that stuff. So this like spoke to my inner core and it was just really cute. I liked the many different representations that were in this book. And I liked seeing the reality TV from like a different viewpoint, because usually like as the viewer you're seeing what they want you to see, whereas this kind of gives you like a little bit of behind the scenes of how it actually works and how it plays out and how all those things are filmed. So I found that kind of like fascinating, but I feel like it pulls from real filming of reality TV shows. So I thought that was cool. And yeah, I just thought this was a really cute rom-com, I would say. It also deals with some like tougher subjects, which is cool. Like I'm glad that it goes into those kinds of things. And yeah, I don't know. I would read more by this author because this was just a fun time. And the spicy scenes actually got spicy. Like it wasn't always like fade to black. You definitely got some spice in there, so I enjoyed that quite a bit. And yeah, I was down for this. I was down for like the angst, the pining. I was here for all of it. It was so freaking cute. I would definitely read more about this author. 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Best Laid Plans. So this is by Roan Parrish. And Roan Parrish, this is part of the Garnet Run series. I read another one by that, like that follows in that series, and that's The Lights on Knockbridge Lane, which is like a Christmas themed version one. And there's another one that was like a Halloween themed one. I read that one too. But anyways, it's all like within this little town, and I think it's Wyoming. So this one is actually the second one. So I'm kind of like backtracking here because these characters were in those other books that I read previously. So I got to like learn about their story. And so this is following, I have to look because I always forget names. This one's following Rye, who is just coming to this town because he finds out that his grandfather passed away and he left him his house. So Rye gets here and finds out that his grandfather's house is actually falling apart and in the middle of the woods. And so he is going into town to try and get supplies because he's going to have to try and do this himself. He's not the most efficient at construction, we'll just say that. And so he's doing his best. and he keeps running into Charlie, and Charlie owns the department store, I guess is what it would be called, kind of like a Lowe's or like a Canadian Tire, very Canadian. What else is there? Home Depot. That's probably the one that would check out the most. So anyway, Charlie owns the like local version of that, probably smaller scale. I don't know why I'm getting into the specifics of this, but anyways, Charlie owns the store, and Charlie notices that Rye is kind of looking a little out of his element, and takes it upon himself to go help Rye with the construction of this house. And so as they're doing that, they kind of start developing feelings for each other, and we go from there. The book was really cute. I already know that I like Rowan Parrish's writing because I really liked the other books by them. So yeah, I was definitely into it. I also like this one doesn't exactly fade to black. This one definitely explores like some different kinks and things that are preferences in the bedroom, which I thought was pretty fun. I enjoyed that aspect of it. And there's also adorable pets in this one, like the cats. Their cats are so friggin' cute. I was like loving their cats the whole time, and more happens with the cats, and I loved that too. So that was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just like this author's writing, and I would definitely keep reading more romance books by them because they're always a lot of fun, and they get a little spicy, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So yeah, this one would be a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Chaos Theory by Nick Stone, and so this one was pretty good. I think I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. This was a contemporary, and it's essentially following two teenagers who end up meeting each other through high school. Like they know each other through high school, but they connect because one of them returns the wallet of the other because the other person lost his wallet. When he gets into a DUI, she actually finds his wallet at the like scene of the crime and brings it to him when they're at school and gives him his wallet. And so then the two of them start talking and kind of like form this relationship. Actually, they start talking before this interaction happens because he texts a random number, which happens to be her. And so they start talking back and forth over text, but then like find out later on that they are each other. So yeah, it's just kind of the contemporary story of them like getting to know each other. I wouldn't say this is like a young adult romance or anything. It's honestly just them building like this friendship that is a little more than a friendship, but they work on it. And like, there's a lot of tough topics in this one. Like the main character has a drinking problem, and the other character has some like mental health issues that they've been dealing with their whole life. And so like the two of them kind of like use each other as sounding boards to help work on these things and work on getting help when needed. So I thought that was really important. Like it was very important messaging, and it definitely showed like trauma responses for different things and how each person has different responses to different things that happen in their lives. So yeah, I just liked how it navigated that. I also liked the parental roles in this book. I think that they showed some bad parenting, and they also showed some really good parenting. And so I got to see like both sides of that. And yeah, it was nice to see that played out in the book. Overall, it was definitely a good read, like a 3.5. There just wasn't much happening. Like it was just the two of them getting to know each other and dealing with being in high school. So like plot wise, there wasn't a lot happening, but it dealt with a lot of really important subjects. And so like, I like that it did that. And that was like a big selling point for like a higher rating. So I'll stick with the 3.5 for this one. I also thought that the banter between the two characters was really cute too. So that added to it. And then the last book I read was Upgrade by Blake Crouch. So this one, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So it's still a high rating, but this is a little disappointing because like Blake Crouch's other books, I gave 5 out of 5 stars for both of them. Like the two that I've read, which is Recursion and Dark Matter. So I was like going into this with high hopes that it would also be a 5-star book, but it just didn't end up being that way. So this one is following a character who is like a detective. I think he's a detective, or he's like part of like the task force that kind of like finds people that are doing gene testing and like shuts down their operations because like it's illegal. And then when they're on one of their like routine raids, I guess is what you would call it, they actually get hit by like some sort of like bomb mechanism, but it's like an ice crystal bomb mechanism that hits them and like infects them with like this DNA enhancement. So then the main character starts like getting enhancements, and it's like them dealing with that and kind of like being on the run. So it kind of like makes me feel like it's like a spy thriller. I will say that the book was pretty action packed. Like it didn't really, once that event happened, it kind of just like stayed at a pretty consistent pace. But the ending just wasn't as exciting as I was hoping it would be. And that's kind of like why it's a 4 out of 5 stars. Like the endings in the other books really like had me right to the last page, just like mind blown. This one I kind of was just like, okay, like I feel like this is gonna happen, and if this happens, like that's cool, but like nothing really surprising happened at the end. It was more just like an action packed end sequence, and then like a little bit of wrap up, and then it's done. I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but like it was missing like that wow factor for me when I was like done the book. The other 2 books I put down and I was just like blown away. And this one I was like, I finished it and I was like, okay, it's done. Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping for more from it, that's all. It seemed more like an action movie to me than like a mind-bendy sci-fi that was keeping me engaged, I guess. I also, when they like talked about like DNA, like splicing and enhancing, I was hoping they were gonna like dive into like pulling specific aspects from like different animals and stuff to like make people have different like enhanced abilities because of that, but it didn't really dive too much into that, so that was kind of a bummer. I was hoping for some creepy like villains or something with different abilities, but yeah, I guess that'll just have to be a different book. But anyways, yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. And those are all the books that I read in April. So yeah, pretty good accomplishment getting through all those. I'm excited about it. I had a good time with all the books that I read, and yeah, it was overall a good reading month. Let me know in the comments down below if you read anything really good, or if you had any 5-star reads last month. Then yeah, let me know what they are. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which is up in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.